Hey guys, Vincent back with another video for Tails Coffee, and today I made a louder intro because somebody was like, I like his energy, so that one's for you, David. But anyways, yes, so today I'm actually gonna be revisiting one of my favorite coffee drippers, and that is the Origami. I actually did a video about 11 months, almost 12 months ago on this one, so about a full year now, and this is actually one of my favorite drippers, and I actually do plan on competing with this dripper. So we're gonna talk about why it's my favorite dripper and what kind of new discoveries I've made in the past year. So before we get into the video, if you're new here, my name is Vincent, and I roast coffees and produce weekly coffee content. So make sure to subscribe if you love a little bit more of an in-depth coffee discussion. And make sure to check out my website, tailscoffee.com, for my coffees and my favorite coffee equipment. Now back to the video. So we're gonna start with a quick overview of the actual dripper itself. Here I have just a couple of the colors. It also comes in a matte color edition, so there's gonna be a ton more colors. You can check our website, tailscoffee.com, for that. But we're gonna take one, we're gonna just quickly talk about it. This thing is just beautiful. It is so perfectly shaped and it is so pleasing to the eyes. Now, there's actually two sizes that it comes in. We only carry the small one because I think that's the perfect size. There's a smaller medium, and this is a ceramic. There's only one material for the drippers. It's all ceramics. There's no glass or plastic versions of it. Because of that, they can have many colors, and it's just wonderful to brew with. Now, if you look over here, there's gonna be a lot of triangular kind of grooves, and these are what's gonna prop up the filter. And the way that it props it up, I'm gonna explain a little bit later, but it just makes a really great cup of coffee. So one of the issues I have is that there's actually two different bases we use. There's a plastic one and a wooden one. Now on the wooden one, because there's no grooves on it, it doesn't sit super well in here, and it's easy for it to kind of just tilt and move as we brew. So I don't recommend using the wooden ones. All of the ones you purchase from our website are gonna be of the plastic base. Now the plastic base actually has all the grooves. It sits in there perfectly, doesn't tilt, doesn't move. So why the size matters? We're gonna do a quick comparison. Over here, I've got myself the V60-02, and over here, I've got the V60-01. Now, when we talk size, we're actually meaning that the coffee kettle can pour as close to the coffee bed as close as possible. And that allows us to have the most gentle, sweet, and rich cup of coffee at the same time. I think that allows me to have the best balance between the three. Now the V60, you could argue, the 01s are actually the one closest to the coffee kettle spout, but the volume is a little bit too small for a single cup. So that's why I think that the small size Origami is better than the 01. Now the 02 and the Origamis are actually very similar in size, in the sense that, you know, they're pretty similar in size. But the difference is because this one flails out a little bit more, the coffee bed is actually a little bit lower as well. And this is also taller. So when you have the coffee bed in here, your coffees are gonna sit around here and here. And by being closer and lower, you're actually gonna get less agitation from the first pour from your coffee spout. So that is why this one, in terms of size, is actually the best. It's because it doesn't compromise in terms of how gentle your initial pour is versus the volume that you can actually achieve with this thing. So now we're gonna quickly talk about the grooves. Now the grooves are actually just these like triangular pieces that hold up and prop up the filter paper. Now, some of the people that have known me have actually asked me, hey, don't you feel that this dripper actually causes a lot of side channeling? Now, if you guys don't know what side channeling is, it's the act of when you're pouring the water into the coffee bed and the water just kind of goes to the edges and just passes on the outside. Now that's what side channeling is. And because these grooves have these huge like little airways that allow the water to pass through, you're gonna get a lot more quote unquote side channeling. Now, this is actually kind of unique to this dripper, and it's because of these larger airways and pathways that we actually have a little bit nicer of a flow rate. So I think that the flow rate on this dripper is quite nice. It's really fast, and it's allowed me to achieve certain flavors that other drippers cannot. And because of this, we can actually grind quite a bit finer and pour quite a bit slower to reach a richer taste, more extraction in a shorter amount of time.
Hey, didn't see you there. I'm Eric, And do you hate waking up in the morning like me? Are you tired of drinking bad coffee? Well, look no further, alright? Introducing the single pour coffee, alright? This is our signature coffee based off our signature technique, alright? So when you wake up in the morning, you're gonna hate it a little less because you're gonna have some amazing coffee. Visit tailscoffee.com.
So now on to everybody's favorite part, and that's the demo. We're about to do a demo on how I like to do my origamis. I'm gonna share my recipe with you guys. It's gonna be 16 grams of beans to 240 grams of water. We're gonna be using 89-degree water, and we're gonna be aiming for about 1:30 for the finish drain, okay? It's gonna be a quick, sweet, and tasty cup of coffee. Let's get right into it. So I've already set everything up. I've got my hot water ready. It's already 240 grams. And we're gonna take a look at the grinds. I've already set it really perfectly, so fine grinds, remember that, medium fine. 16 grams of beans in there. When we pour, we're going to start in the middle and pour really slowly, nice and slowly, just like that. And then we're gonna work our way out and press the sides out. Now you guys can see, all the white stuff in the middle, and now we're gonna press it all the way out to the edge, nice and slowly. So I've set up a timer on the side, but we're gonna have a timer here, as you can see, and we're gonna aim for the 1:30. So once we hit the edges, we're gonna do a flush finish and finish the pour. And when we're done pouring the water, we're gonna give it a quick stir. Stir from top to the bottom, from outside to inside, and that's it. So now that we finished, as you guys can see, we have it at 1:30. Don't mind the weight part, we were just weighing other parts. But yeah, the timer's at 1:30. We're gonna head back to the other side and talk about the flavors and how it compares to some of the other drippers that we have. So we're back onto the side of the counter. I've got myself my trusty origami cup and the coffee we just finished brewing. So first off, let's take a look at the color. We're gonna give a quick swivel. Now, the color is just a perfect golden brown. It's super nice. There's not a lot of oils in it. It's super clean, and let's get a taste. So the coffee that we brewed today is just enough to make 1 cup of coffee. It's a perfect size. I like my coffees a little bit smaller than the most, in North America at least. So cheers, guys. Now, damn, that's a good cup of coffee. Because of how fine we can grind for the origami, we can actually get a really rich cup of coffee. So contrary to how it seems on paper, at 1:30 we finished. 89-degree water, it's kind of like a lower water temperature. But because we used a finer grind and we poured slower because we're able to pour closer to it, we get a gentler but much stronger extraction, which allows us to have a much higher level of sweetness than any of the other drippers. And aside from that, because we're at a quicker speed, we're not gonna get as much of the richer or darker flavors that come towards the end, even though we have a high extraction that's always at the beginning. So we're gonna have a really nice and strong cup of coffee, really round texture, really sweet, and just a little bit more acidity than, I guess, like you would have on a V60-02. So overall, compared to all the other drippers, this is probably, and definitely actually, I'd like to say, my favorite dripper. I'm actually planning to compete with it as soon as the SCA starts up with their Brewers Cup again. Do follow my journey for that. I will be using the Origami Cup as of right now because I do think it is the perfect brewer for pour-overs. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope this video showed you how I like to brew with my origamis, and it helps you improve your origami experience as well. So let me know in the comments what you think about the origami dripper and how you experience it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.